Back. The gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Casten, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you all for staying here so late. There's been a lot of conversation about the serious end of crypto, stable coins. I'm going to focus on the silly end, the meme coins. It's funny, we have all these rules of decorum, and it is hard to talk about meme coins with the language that the industry uses to talk about them. I see you all smiling. We'll refer to them as fecal coins for the purpose of this hearing. Is it safe to say from your smiles that you generally share the view of the industry that this is not something that has any innate value, these meme coins?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Have any of you invested in, and again, this starts to get a little bit colorful language, the Hawk Tuah Girls coin? Have any of you invested in that? No? Okay.
They're fan clubs is really what they are.
Yeah, and I say that to raise a more serious point that, as several of my colleagues have noted, the President of the United States issued something that has no innate value. It doesn't have the value that maybe a Bible or a pair of sneakers or a steak or a bottle of water has. It has no innate value. It hit, I think, $75 at its peak the day before the inauguration on the 19th. Anybody know what it's trading at today?
It's a lot less, but I haven't checked. It was like
just under $16 when I was just checking here a moment ago. But like the Hawk Tuah Girl coin, it's really volatile. You know, you boost your Q score and it bounces up, and then people realize they're holding something worthless. The rise in value when it popped up, according to Chainalysis, said that it appeared to include a significant profit to Chinese traders, that 50th of the largest investors in the coin have made profits in excess of $10 million each, and the crash in the coin's price has caused more than 800,000 wallets to lose $2 billion combined. Now, as I understand the work that Chainalysis does, they don't capture any off-chain transactions. So, you know, stuff happening at Kraken or otherwise. So, Mr. Yakum, is it reasonable to assume that the $2 billion in on-chain transactions is much less than the total loss that's actually been experienced from meme coin investors?
Well, Congressman, thank you for the question. I can't speak to the specifics of on-chain versus off-chain. I know for our markets, again, we have...
But I'm just making the point that, like, the Chainalysis reports, they're tracking on-chain trades, right? And so we know, I mean, there's been, like, National Bureau of Economic Research that said that for Bitcoin, maybe 10 times the volume is off-chain. So if we know it's 2 billion on-chain and there's all this off-chain volume, safe to assume that the total losses are more than 2 billion, right?
Potentially, Congressman. I think, you know, when it comes back to your question of the role, the value. Well, I think value is in the eye of the beholder, and a lot of these are sentiment-driven assets.
Yeah,
right?
Fine. Doesn't have any value. Now, I think there's a lot of conversation we can get into about what's the net worth, and obviously, like, you know, the Trump family and the entities they control has gained a lot on this. But because we still have rules that commingle brokers and issuers and dealers, the reports are that, and again, according to Chainalysis, is that entities that the Trump family controls has made perhaps $100 million on trading fees for these coins, setting aside what the value of the coin is. And again, that's just based on the on-chain transactions that they track. Mr. Massad, you say you've got a comment there. I'm assuming that you would agree with me that Trump family has probably made more than $100 billion in broker fees. We just can't track it.
We cannot track it, but Congressman, you're raising so many good points. And the thing about these are that, you know, the industry talks about securities versus commodities distinctions. These, if I were at the CFTC today, and someone came, or 2014, someone came to me with the Dogecoin instead of Bitcoin, I wouldn't have declared that a commodity, okay? It shouldn't be traded as a commodity. It shouldn't be regulated by the CFTC, maybe by the CFPB, but that's the kind of speculative stuff.
There's rich investor protection here, but I'm running out of time.
Yeah, we need it.
I want to get to another point. If you have something that's hard to track, that has no innate value, that doesn't require you to give something like a sneaker or a Bible in exchange for goods and services, isn't this just a way to transfer money to people? And if we know that foreign governments are participating in these markets, isn't this a violation of the emoluments clause of the Constitution? Now, I know we've had conversations about engaging in personalities. This is not partisan. This is a question of, do we in Congress think that the Constitution is worth defending? And if the President of the United States is putting out something that has no innate value and is getting foreign entities to pay him for it, isn't that a direct violation of the emollients clause? And if we are taking our oath to defend the Constitution, shouldn't we care about that? Yield back.